Welcome to Secret Squirrels. Yeah, that's right. We are the Secret Squirrels. This is episode 28. We are Corsi Nationals, meaning that we are in alliance with Jerome Corsi and CorsiNation.com. Hashtag hide your nuts. You got it? You got it? Are you with us?
Yeah, we got it.
Yeah, we got it. Grumble, grumble, grumble. Okay, so what do we got today? I mean, what are you guys thinking that we should do? Can cover some conspiracy type stuff?
Yeah, well, I suppose there's interesting things out there. What do you think? You got anything for us?
Well, yeah, there's probably some. It's where to start. See, there's so many different stories. Figuring out which one is actually newsworthy. I don't know. I guess we'll start. There's this one natural news thing. We're gonna look at this one. Flu fear propaganda campaign. There you go. You guys know anything about Big Pharmacy? Big Pharma? CDC? Natural
Pay them a lot of money.
Do you know that flu propaganda when you see it?
Yes.
Yeah. The great flu propaganda campaign is in full swing already. Indeed, it seems the push to make people afraid and go get their flu shot starts earlier every year. What do you guys think about the flu shot?
I don't know because I'm allergic to it, so I can't have it.
Yeah, I'm not taking it. The only time I ever took it, I actually got the flu.
Oh, that's what happened to me. My doctor said, "Oh, that means you're allergic. Don't take it."
Whatever. And so now I take my elderberry syrup all the time. I just pressure cook me up a whole gallon of it at a time in little containers, and I have it. I can just drink it throughout the year.
You need to put that recipe in chat, Army Wife, because I've been doing that. I've been getting some of that, and it's loosened up my chest a lot.
Yeah, and I get my elderberries on at iHerb is where I get them because they're like more than half off of what they are at Amazon, and so you can get a pound for like $10 or $12 of dried elderberries, and that'll make you a whole gallon of elderberry juice, elderberry syrup that you can actually can, and then like I can mine in 12-ounce jars. So.
Yeah, I just went in my backyard. I had a whole bunch of elderberry bushes back there.
Oh, good. Yeah, I've got my little ones growing now, so hopefully in the next couple of years they'll actually produce.
This wasn't really that big of a story. I mean, I don't think it's that big of a story. It's just this propaganda thing. This Dr. Robert Scott Bell notes the three-ring media circuits pumping out fear-mongering headlines. Pro-flu shot propaganda is everywhere. Despite the predicted 20% efficacy rate, health officials are calling for everyone to get vaccinated as usual. Bell contends that the media is just trying to freak you out over the flu. If they can't just coax people into getting jabbed, the fear campaign is next best bet, after all.
Yep.
Oh, there you go.
Last time I had it was in the Marine Corps, and I got sicker than a dog, and I haven't had it since.
Yep.
Yeah, and
I haven't been sick since.
No, neither have I. And I'm diabetic, and they recommend it. I take lots of multivitamins and minerals and different things, and apple cider vinegar every morning. And anyway, I don't, knock on wood, get sick. So
yeah, we just take care of ourselves. I like natural news actually. Health is a magnificent job, and he actually, I think, got banned off of Twitter,
he did.
Facebook, or one of them just a while back. That was it, a while back. Makes no sense whatsoever. But anyway, so we still get his emails of what's going on every day. But it's ridiculous. Then with our veterans, man, every time you turn around, you'll see Walgreens had signs up back in June. I think it was in June.
Oh, yeah.
Get your flu shot. Yeah, get your flu shot. Get your flu shot. Then whenever you get paperwork, we get paperwork from the VA. Every page, reminder to get your flu shot. Get your flu shot. And you turn it over to the back, get your flu shot. And then blah, 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 blah. The next page, get your flu shot. It's a constant. I said, yeah, but that's just not going to happen. It's not going to happen because every time. Nope.
So this is the good news. This is what I was going to try to avoid, this whole Kavanaugh stuff. But You just can't avoid it right now. Kavanaugh stories are everywhere. And the good news here is the Republican senator says they are now investigating Feinstein. I think that's funny.
What was that laugh for? It's
a maniacal laugh. You know, he can witness me, tapping the tips of my fingers together the way that George Burns on The Simpsons does.
That was his Bela Lugosi laugh.
I see. That kind of scared me.
Yeah. Are they going to check her Gmail account, her private email accounts is the question.
Are they going to check her travel to China? That's what I want to know.
And we want to go back 40 years.
Exactly.
We're not going to, this has got to be going back 40 years. It's only fair.
Exactly.
So Senator Tom Cotton, Republican in Arkansas, told Face the Nation host John Dickery Sunday that the Senate is investigating their colleague Senator Dianne Feinstein, Democrat California, over the letter she received from Judge Kavanaugh's accuser, Dr. Christine Blasey Ford. She says the Supreme Court nominee sexually assaulted her in high school. Feinstein got the letter over the summer, but it was leaked to the press just a couple of weeks ago, just in time for Kavanaugh's confirmation vote. It was suspicious timing, and Cotton wants to get to the bottom of it. So, long story short, the FBI investigation into the Kavanaugh thing is not just about Kavanaugh. Yeah. So, we're going to be potentially seeing some criminal charges brought to bear against Feinstein and Ford and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah,
cool. I find it interesting that Ford's criminal record was scrubbed a few weeks before she sent this letter. That's the most damning evidence of them all. Mm-hmm. It didn't matter what she had on that record. That's pretty damning in my book.
Yeah, and then of course she may end up being like the third accuser, who was actually her last two jobs. She was fired because of making false accusations, sexual accusations against coworkers.
But also the way, the thing in terms of the way that Feinstein's getting. It's the way that her office handled that letter, that they released that letter. And also this whole FBI investigation might take away the redactions on that letter, so they're going to find out more information than what the Democrats wanted us to know.
That would be interesting if they will let them. Look at the FISA. Those FISA memos.
Already with that, I think the FBI's got, at least I've heard that rumor, is that the FBI already has access to the therapist that Ford went to see during the event. They already have access to those files. And they read the description of the abuser of that incident, and the description of the abuser did not match Kavanaugh. So,
of course,
right, and of course, there's that other thing where Ford is a psychologist at Stanford, and she co-wrote some book on how to hypnotize yourself. So there's always that.
To hypnotize yourself so that you can give false testimony.
Exactly, in 2008, that if if there's some kind of bizarre fantasy out there or whatever, something that you want to happen, if you dream it enough and you create it in your mind, then it'll come true. You can, what I mean?
That was a movie.
She's not even licensed. That's the thing. She's not even a licensed psychologist in California.
Well, she's a doctor. She's a PhD. Doctor, not doctor.
So she teaches classes.
Yeah.
Which is scary. If she's teaching classes, I'm making sure my kids aren't going there.
Well, she might know what she's doing in terms of the academic side of things. She might know how to create false memories.
Right, and the question is, because I had actually
how did she use that though?
Yeah, exactly. And I had read something on one of those links. Anyway, where I guess whenever she would go see her psychiatrist, they had actually put her into a trance, pretty much to help try to pull her memories out and stuff like that before she went and testified.
So I got other stories here. I don't know if any of them are worth covering. I don't know if that's worth covering, but anyway, you got this thing on Reuters. Is Google chief executive will testify before the U.S. House on bias accusations.
I wonder if he'll be under oath.
Zucky did.
Yeah, just
well,
worry about putting them under oath.
So Google Chief Executive Sundar Pichai, I don't know how to say his name, has agreed to testify before the U.S. House Judiciary Committee later this year over Republican concerns that the company is biased against conservatives, and will also attend a meeting with President Donald Trump, government officials said on Friday. So when is this story? This is from the 28th. This is kind of stale news, I guess. It is interesting. I mean, I don't know if it's going to have much of an impact or not.
I don't think it will. I think these people are... I saw, I guess it was a Q post saying that they've been given full permission to do whatever the heck they want.
But how is he going to lie after that hour-long video got released to the public?
And then pulled off the internet, yeah.
Say it. He didn't mean to say it. He was under duress.
Yeah.
Quit picking on the poor Democrats.
Yeah, they pulled that thing from the internet quick.
I know.
They pulled it from the internet.
Kiss my duress.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Yeah. So they need to.
Are we a bunch of cynical people or what?
No.
Realists.
That's right. That's right.
And I don't have a problem doing that.
So what do you think about this one? This is a Breitbart article. Corker and Menendez, they scuttle Rand Paul efforts to block billions in U.S. funding for Afghan forces that are sexually abusing boys.
Are we surprised that Corker and Menendez are behind this?
Yeah, right. Because that money gets diverted. There's no accountability. Once they get it.
And you know what?
There's money that's brought in on pallets.
So Senator Rand Paul, Republican Kentucky, last week tried to block billions in U.S. taxpayer funds from going to the Afghan military and police forces unless its units stopped sexually abusing young boys. But he was opposed by Senate Foreign Relations Committee leaders. What do you think, guys? Huh?
Well, it's interesting because I'm going to bet you the ones that opposed it were Democrats, and they're the ones that you have to worry about most anyway.
Hello, this is Jeff Flake, and I opposed it because I was pressured and I wanted to oppose it, so there.
Yeah.
So specifically, Paul referred to the common
cocktail in that elevator, and maybe some I like it dirty, and so they gave me a cocktail. It was a martini dirty.
Yeah.
No olives.
Oh, pizza party. Yeah. Specifically, Paul referred to the common Afghan practice of bakabazi, or using boys as young as 10 years old for sex. Yeah, at least, in Islam, they don't consider boys male until they get hair under their armpits.
Oh my goodness!
So they don't think think it's a gay thing because they don't recognize them as male.
Well, they also like goats.
What?
They like goats too, but they also feel in those traditions that you are old enough to get married when you're. I think they changed the age
5
to like your.
That's ridiculous.
So if you shave your armpits, do you revert back to being a pre-boy?
I don't know. Put a lot of importance on that.
I don't know if you get married when you're 9 years old.
Oh man! Remember that Saturday Night Live bit about "Are you my daddy?"
Oh my gosh!
Is that right?
Oh my goodness. Okay, we're moving on to the next story because this is degrading quickly.
There's sheep in them there hills.
House Judiciary subpoenas Fusion GPS co-founder Glenn Simpson. Who's Glenn Simpson? I don't know who Glenn Simpson is. You guys know who Glenn Simpson is?
Yeah, you do. He's the one who put out the dossier. Glenn Simpson.
The Fusion GPS dossier.
Yeah. Who Kavanaugh's accuser's brother worked for Fusion GPS. Their family all has ties to Fusion GPS.
So good old Bob Goodlatte announced this subpoena on Twitter. We will stay tuned on that story. See how that goes. We're just jumping through the stories. Boom, boom.
I wonder if he'll be under oath.
So this is SarahCarter.com. Sparing Rod, unpacking the Trump-Rosenstein relationship. What kind of speculations do we have on that one?
I really wish they wouldn't. I'm tired of seeing Rosie's spunky little face on the news because I want to punch it through the TV.
Yeah, he's just a traitor. And
he is a traitor.
That's exactly what he is. That entire cabal, they're all traitors. And don't even fire him. Just hang him by a noose and just get it over with.
Yeah, let's have a public hanging.
But what about this forced resignation thing? I mean, he's got his hands dirty in a couple different ways, and if they get those
a lot
FISA memos declassified, then he's going to be forced into resigning, right?
He's so dirty, he's up to his ears in it.
Actually, we heard earlier that the FBI and them are still fighting the release of these FISA memos. They don't want to release them. They're still fighting it. I think the president had said last week, though, actually, it might have been one of his rallies, that one way or the other, they will get released. If he has to get involved, they will get released. So who knows? Maybe tomorrow will be that day. I don't know.
I don't want to be the guy at the office when President Trump comes over and says, give me those memos now. Dang it.
Yeah.
Only he's not going to say, dang it.
Okay.
Well,
he sent that over to the IG a while back, but he still has his copies.
Yes.
Brainstorm?
Yes.
I just wanted to say sorry for barging in. I had an opportunity to come in for a little bit.
Well, thank you.
And I brought somebody that's on the design team with me. He goes by Fox One.
Oh.
Say hi.
Oh.
Good evening.
Say something. They can't hear you.
Hey, how's it going?
Howdy.
Outstanding. And yourself?
He's a former Marine with some mad art skills.
Oh.
Awesome.
Ooh, we need you in here.
Former Marine. I didn't know there were such a thing. Hey, Bandit, tell me about the former Marines.
There you go.
I'm still a Marine.
He's still a Marine, he says. He's correcting me. I wouldn't know.
Yeah, I don't know. Bandit must be beating up a commie or something. Who knows?
Hey, Army wife, did you guys by any chance discuss this picture that you put in the text?
Which one?
The Michelle Obama?
No, we haven't discussed that yet, actually.
Okay.
I put that in there earlier. Yeah, that someone had posted that on... Isn't it?
Before it's news. I would like to go with before it's news, but they've been often proven wrong.
Right.
Even some of her high school pictures. I mean, she looked just like a man playing football.
Yeah, that's too easy to doctor up to get somebody to go on slander. I don't know. It's kind of fishy.
Yeah. Yeah. But, Patriot 3's right. That's the easiest thing to do.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Well, here's an interesting paragraph.
Have you guys mentioned that tomorrow is that the FEMA emergency alert?
Yes. We talked about it on Corsi's show.
Okay, because I've been telling everybody I know so that they don't freak out tomorrow when that thing starts to buzz.
No, I think we should just let people freak out. I think freaking out's a good thing. It's nice and healthy for you.
Yeah.
Freak out. Jumpstart the heart.
Yeah, but what if they're texting when they're driving in traffic and then it buzzes and they veer off into my lane?
Right.
That's what I'm concerned about.
I wish I could. Maybe I should get my bass out and start doing some funkadelic stuff.
Very psychedelic. You were playing with crayons earlier.
Freak out.
Yeah, we took your crayons away, Brainstorm. We'll have to take the bass too.
They're all party poopers. All these people. They're all party poopers.
Did you see where the Safeway that she was referring to in her testimony was actually built in 1986 and cell phones didn't come out until 1984?
You know what? Fox One over here was telling me that he saw some body language expert that broke down her testimony. Had you guys seen this as well?
Oh, yeah, I saw it on there.
Rachel
Bombard's body language.
Bombard's body language. Have you guys seen her?
Yeah, I did.
Mm-hmm.
It was pretty interesting.
Yeah.
Are you guys trying to go back to the Kavanaugh thing? I'm so sick of hearing the Kavanaugh story. We are done with the Kavanaugh story, mister.
Okay, Brain. Listen to me and listen good. It's pretty important.
Why?
And you aren't the boss of me.
Hey, Brain, be careful. That bandit guy's liable to get you and put you against the pole again.
Yeah, he's probably getting out his K-bar right now as we speak.
That sounded bad. I'm talking head first.
Patriot, that did not sound good at all.
Oh, my goodness. Oh, my goodness.
Okay.
Now, one final Kavanaugh story. She said that she went to a Safeway after the party.
And there's no Safeway, right.
Yep, there was no Safeway built until
1986.
years later.
86.
See, everybody's already heard all about the Kavanaugh stuff. It's already just so outlandish that it's like not any fun.
I think it's an amazing cast job, though, by the Democrats. I mean, if you're going to get the most sympathetic person in the whole world for low information voters, that's the girl.
Low information. Uneducated.
Amen to that
Sticks.
Okay. Let's talk about the Catholic Church. How's that for fun?
Yippee.
Oh, everybody talks about the Catholic Church. Oh, my goodness. All right, go ahead.
Don't get possessed.
I guess I was kind of walking into that one.
Don't get possessed is who you're going to call.
Catholic lay group devotes over $1 million to expose cardinals guilty of abuse or cover-ups. This is a United States lay group called Better Church Governance, Inc., announces annual audit of cardinals to expose those credibly connected to scandal called the Red Hat Report.
Red Hat Report.
Yeah, reporting on the Cardinals.
It's a red shoe, red scarf.
Well, red shoe would probably be better. That means probably something worse. So the group's leaders intend to hold the highest levels of church authority accountable, including the Pope. A team of close to 100 researchers, investigators, and journalists, some of whom reportedly worked for the FBI, will compile the report. This looks like these guys are getting serious. They got $1 million invested in this. Seems like they have some resources now.
What's up with the $1 million for everything? Like Ford, she's got like 5 GoFundMe accounts that are they're right at $1 million, if not over $1 million now.
I guess it's a magical number that once you get $1 million, then you can say that you have arrived.
Then you're paid.
That's not monopoly money either.
Yeah, well,
exactly.
Maybe I'll start a GoFundMe account.
Yeah.
Yeah, but he doesn't need it much.
What would you do, Jax? What would you start it for?
I'm poor, and I'm a conservative. I'm not picked on.
And you have dog food to buy.
And I do have dog food to buy.
Yeah.
See, I think I'd go with something like I need a brain transplant.
Sorry. I like that one.
You don't think that'll work? Or
I think that'll work. I like that one. I wish I thought of it.
I sneezed and it flew out my nose hole.
So here's a story about Chelsea Manning, convicted leaker, compares living in U.S. to prison. Also confirmed gender identity disorder.
She doesn't have to live here. She can leave.
Well, she has to stay here if she's going to run for some kind of political office here.
Where, Massachusetts or Maine? Maine, right?
I thought that was illegal.
Oh no, she is running for office.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Good luck.
Somewhere up there.
Does anybody remember what happened? What was the last bit of news we had on the guy that was traded for all the terrorists out of Afghanistan?
Oh, what was started with the B? What was his name?
Bergdahl.
Bergdahl, yeah.
Yeah.
Anything on it?
We haven't heard anything about him. Haven't heard anything about Mueller in a week and a half either.
Yeah, Mueller's been quiet too. Yep, you're right.
Haven't heard from anything from Brainstorm in about 5 minutes either.
Just killing commies.
Patriot, you better watch it because you name too many names.
Watch out.
I know. I already got rid of all my red scarves, so I'm safe.
So here's this is probably, I don't know what's when, this is the 28th, so I guess we're probably a little bit off. But,
we're off.
This is, well, that goes without saying, I guess yeah. So we're at a year, we're just a little bit over a year anniversary of the Las Vegas shooting.
Yes. They spoke about it. Listen to this. Just happened to be flipping through the other night, and on ABC News, right on the year anniversary. So that was the 28th, or when was it?
Well, that's what this article is written.
Okay. I think it was actually October 1st.
Oh, October 16, it says.
Oh, well, that's weird. It doesn't matter. Anyway, they were talking about the year anniversary of the Las Vegas shooting and how bump stocks were still legal to buy. for $139.99.
Yeah.
Can you believe it? Out of all the things to report on that anniversary, that's what they were hitting on.
They're Maroons. Maroons. A whole lot of them.
You're ridiculous.
Okay. Yeah.
We need somebody with a diabolical laugh. That's better. That's more of a squirrel that I can. Yeah, I like that.
That's a squirrel you can get behind.
Wait a minute. You want the squirrel?
Yeah.
Hold on. You want the squirrel?
You want the bushy tail? You don't want none of this.
Oh, sorry.
Crazy squirrel. Moose and squirrel.
So communism. I mean, communism's a good thing, right? Afghan jihadi leaders under fire for enjoying Chinese girls dance at communism celebration. What?
Okay.
Can't make that up.
There were no goats in attendance?
3 of the most prominent Islamists in Afghanistan who now serve in Kabul's government have sparked criticism for allegedly watching Chinese women performing acrobatic dances because they should be watching little boys during a celebration marking China's communism over the weekend. You should be watching little boys. What are you doing watching women? How dare you? Yeah. Because we do serious news here on the Squirrels. That's what we do. Serious stuff. And that's enough of that. Next. Okay. What to know about the Presidential Emergency System test on Wednesday? Since we brought it up, I don't think there's much to know. You get called on 2:20, I think it's Eastern time, 2:20. Well, 2:18 actually. Then you have 2 minutes of... This is a service of the Federal Emergency Broadcasting, whatever nonsense.
Well, they've already started practicing here. They've done it 3 times today. I'm about ready to take my TV and unplug it.
So it starts at 2:18. They tell you that this is an emergency alert, blah, blah. And then at 2:20, which is 2 minutes later, then you have a half an hour, hopefully, of President Trump telling us all about the mainstream media's lying to you, and that's why we need to have an alert system to bypass their lying asses.
Wait, is that legit? Is that what they're anticipating is going to happen tomorrow?
That's what I'm anticipating. I mean, I guess this is wishful thinking on my part, but,
Wrong.
Yeah. We're right?
I would like to hear that. I would love to hear that.
I mean, what else? I mean, anything else, right, it's going to be a disappointment.
I was talking to a family member the other day, and I told her about this, and I said, I just want you to be aware that if something goes down, don't be shocked. And she says, if it doesn't happen, will you finally stop this conspiracy theory stuff? And I said, nope.
Just being honest here.
Right.
Yeah. So that's tomorrow. It's probably,
so I hope he blows it up.
It's good. Okay, the Palmieri report on the front lines taking America back. They need to work on their... Okay. Yale law professors cancel 31 classes so students can protest Kavanaugh.
What are these people's parents who are upset that these children are wasting
how much does Yale cost a year?
It's like $60,000 a year, $65,000 a year. It's hideously expensive.
Oh, I bet that professor wouldn't let them out to go protest abortion.
Does it also count for the Skull and Bone members? Because Skull and Bone's on Yale property, so do they get the classes off too? I mean, Skull and Bone. They tell the
professors to let the students out.
Yeah. They're the ones in control. What are you talking about?
Mm-hmm.
But as a parent, I would be mad that my kids are not in class learning on my money and they're protesting instead. That would tick me off.
Unless you're a big leftist fool parent.
Right.
Here's the ultimate in ironies. One professor, James Foreman, canceled his criminal law class in an email to his students, writing, I just received a request to cancel class on Monday. I understand that some students want to go to D.C. to protest and otherwise engage the Kavanaugh hearings. Criminal law is canceled. I think they should go ahead and have that law class. I think it would do a much more good if they actually learned a little something about the law.
Right. like no evidence, no trial,
innocent. Criminal class.
No body, no crime.
Let's just try innocent until proven guilty, mofo.
Criminal law is canceled, but anarchy is in.
Yeah.
Let's hit DC.
Corpus Christi.
Okay.
That's where I went to spring break during. Anyway, go ahead.
So I don't know what this thing is. We got Tommy Robinson in the news. Vows to sue Sky. Brands, I don't care if I incite fear of Muslims. Headlines fake news. There's our free speech hero of the year, I think. Probably before this year. Last year was probably Breitbart, but he got killed. So now we have.
Is he out of jail yet?
No, they put his hearing off for a couple of weeks.
Yeah, but he was out. They let him out on his own recognizance.
Yeah, and then he had a hearing. I think it was either last week or the beginning of this week, and they said that they needed more time, so they gave him an extra couple weeks.
But he is out.
This is our opportunity to talk about grooming gangs.
Grooming
gangs.
Is that? Oh, that's all them barbers that hang out on the corner.
Yeah.
Do you want a haircut? Come on over here.
No, I think they're braiding underpit hair. The underarm hair.
Oh, Merry Christmas, Brain!
Unless you're the boy that hasn't gotten to the age yet.
Yeah, see, then you'll have other party favors in store for you. Okay.
Hey, you with the unkept hair. Come on over here.
You're getting a little scraggly around the sides.
Come on over here. We'll show you a clean
That's
time.
not creepy. That's just not creepy. No.
Okay.
So Google bias. Spokeswoman for Representative Marsha Blackburn, Republican of Tennessee, responded to a Breitbart News exclusive revealing that a senior Google search software engineer labeled her a terrorist and a violent thug and defended the censorship of her campaign ads on social media. Yeah, that's not. Yeah. Bias. Yeah. So what this is. Okay, it's like straw man. So first they try to they intentionally mischaracterize your position, such as, calling all conservatives Nazis. And from there, they try to justify any sort of mistreatment or dehumanization for the people that are mislabeled in that way. So first they give you they present your position as something other than what it is, and that becomes an excuse to dehumanize you and treat you improperly.
Yeah, and
but
then
them are those are the tolerant people. That's the tolerant left.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah, those Antifa people too. Those guys that are on the payroll from the tolerant left. Those guys are Nazis. They're acting like brown shirts. Well, we don't like what you say. We're going to beat you up.
So they call conservatives Nazis or literally Hitler. They don't know what the word literally means, but they call us literally Hitler, and that becomes an justification to do whatever they're going to do to us. And then they were talking about like entering into conservatives' homes and killing them because they're obviously literally Hitler. So that killing them is the right thing to do.
Oh, that's right. I heard about home invasions being threatened.
Yeah, they're advocating for home invasions.
That they've been advocating home invasions.
I heard from Jax, actually, yeah.
And I saw that somewhere, and I really wish I'd saved the page.
Now I know I need to go get a gun.
Jax is the source of all news.
And I am literally Hitler because I ran into one of them grooming gangs on the corner, and they just snazzed my mustache right up.
Oh, that's scary.
Did they braid your underarm hair?
I don't need to know this.
I shaved my underarm hair.
Oh my gosh. I'm going to have nightmares.
They cut the sleeves off of his denim shirt for easy access.
Oh my gosh.
I like to feel like a young man.
Man, that's bad. That's so bad.
Oh, to be young again. Sorry. Oh, we're off the rails tonight, and I apologize.
Former Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy breaks silence, destroys Dianne Feinstein.
It's about time.
Anthony Kennedy. Where did he go anyway? Why did he step down again?
Because he's got a vacation in Jamaica with a hot woman. I don't know.
Not the island. Not Bill
Isn't he in his 80s? Like 80s? He's like 80-something years old, I believe. But
He's younger than what's her face? Ginsburg.
Ginsburg. Yeah, but everybody, even Abraham Lincoln is younger than Ginsburg.
It's probably better for him to step down before he gets Scalia.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well, he was
about two different people.
Yeah,
mine is talking.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
What?
Go ahead.
You guys are talking about two different people.
Scalia or Kennedy?
What do you mean?
Senator Kennedy.
No, Justice Kennedy.
Former Supreme Court Justice Anthony Kennedy breaks silence, destroys Dianne Feinstein.
Yeah.
Oh, well, okay. I'm sorry. Then that's my apology today. Is there a Senator Kennedy? Is there
Ted Kennedy?
No. He's a Republican. He's a Republican.
Yeah, there is. There is a Senator Kennedy. Yeah.
He actually. I shared the link. I need to find that link. But anyway, he actually said we have to go after Feinstein.
Yeah. The other day.
Yep.
Oh, I would love to see it. Yeah.
So that's what was confusing me. You guys were talking about Justice Kennedy. I've seen this show.
There's too many Kennedys out there for us to keep track of.
Right. My understanding of why Kennedy went ahead and stepped down was that was his plan for literally since Trump got in office, that why President Trump was in office, he would retire to ensure that we got a conservatives on the court.
Well, and I think it's funny that the left is freaking out about Kavanaugh. Ginsburg could have stepped down any time during Obama, and she didn't do it. So if they've got any problems, they should take it out with Ginsburg.
I'm surprised they didn't Scalia her.
I know, right?
You guys are going to love this next story. This is a Telegraph because they're reliable news. And the headline is "Pedophilia is natural and normal for males." And the subheading is "How some university academics make the case for pedophiles at summer conferences." And there's a picture of Jimmy Savile.
It sounds like your boyfriend telling you that polygamy is normal for all males, too.
Pedophilic interest is natural and normal for human males, said the presentation. At least a sizable minority of normal males would like to go have sex with children. Normal males are aroused by children.
Yikes.
Yeah.
They have been trying to normalize that
for a long time.
Yeah.
Who wrote this article? The director of Galaxy?
NAMBLA, probably.
Oh, yeah.
Yep, they've been trying to normalize it and trying to... No. Sorry. Not going to happen.
And then there was a quiet...
Last week, after the conviction of Rolf Harris, the report into Jimmy Savile and claims of an establishment cover-up to protect a sex-offending minister in Margaret Thatcher's cabinet, Britain went into a convulsion of anxiety about child abuse in the 80s. But unnoticed amid the furor is a much more current threat. Attempts right now in parts of the academic establishment to push the boundaries of an acceptability of child sex. There you go.
No, they just need to put them all in prison like Seville, charge all of them. And Meryl Streep will stand up and clap for them. Yay, you guys are great.
And Madonna screaming and yelling.
Okay.
Judd.
I'm not British.
I found the story
of the whole
wow.
Yellow.
I need to fact check myself, and I apologize. Cotton is the guy's name.
Tom Cotton?
Yeah. Yes. Yes. So he says that Senator Dianne Feinstein's office will be investigated to determine whether it leaked a confidential letter from one of Brett Kavanaugh's accusers, Senator Tom Cotton said Sunday. Cotton, an Arkansas Republican, also said lawyers recommended to Christine Blasey Ford by Democrats will face a Washington, D.C. bar investigation for telling her that Senate Judiciary Committee staffers would not travel to California to interview her about her sexual assault allegations.
Yeah.
They have betrayed her, Cotton said on CBS, Face the Nation. She has been victimized by Democrats on search and destroy mission for Brett Kavanaugh.
Yeah.
I was trying to investigate where she got all those millions.
You know, when they get to investigate, you know, who knows? They just may have to keep on digging if they find stuff on her, like the Russia collusion. Not. Good Lord! Just keep on digging. Take her off of all the committees. Put her under investigation. Don't let her do squat. They have too many Chinese connections to her.
When the word squat comes out and there's a long naked pause.
Did you visualize that too?
Yeah, it wasn't right. I guess naked pause was not the right word. Pregnant pause was the right word.
That's not much better, but yeah, we know what you mean.
Yeah, especially after squat. Okay. So, brain, save me, please.
He's drowning quick.
He's playing with his crayons.
I'm looking at Far Left Watch. Armed Antifa group calls for the slaughter of President Trump.
Oh, beautiful.
It seems like each day the violent rhetoric from Antifa and the other far-left extremist groups becomes more militant. In a recent blog post from the far-left site Incendiary News, the author advocates for the slaughter of ICE agents and their bosses. And they got in parentheses Donald Trump. This rhetoric is fueled in part by the growing influence of Marxism on the left, as well as a media industrial complex that routinely distorts, misrepresents, and sometimes even fabricates information in order to paint President Trump and his supporters as fascists or white supremacists, which we have already discussed. They do that so that they can dehumanize us and excuse any sort of violence coming in our direction.
I know how we can defeat them. We just close down the pizza shops for a weekend.
Yeah.
And get their PlayStation 3s. Get the PlayStation 3s and their pimple medicine.
What
and
if we break all their bongs?
That would be good. But can we find all the bongs, and do we have enough vehicles to smoosh them?
Smoosh, indeed.
Smoosh. I have a big truck that will take out many, many bongs at once.
Oh, good.
A bong crusher.
Can I watch?
I shall dub you Bong Crusher.
It's like, what is that, WWE or whatever?
All over the hood.
It's like one of those pro wrestling, or not, whatever.
Oh, my goodness.
This is maybe history.
Who is this you're speaking to?
Who, me?
Yes.
Yes, you!
You have someone in the background there, and they're not participating. We have to say.
Tell us now!
Fox One. I am this Fox One. He's the one that's responsible for the George Washington illustration that we almost used.
Oh, okay, Fox One.
Awesome.
He's been vetted.
Actually, it was a very good. It was a very good illustration. I loved it.
I know his teacher. His teacher's amazing.
Fox One, you are welcome here anytime you choose.
Why don't we get him?
Fox?
We need to get him on Discord.
Thank you very much indeed. That's what he say. You speak for yourself.
Schweinhund?
We're going to get killed for that.
What?
Say it again.
That word, that is not a nice word, believe me.
A pig dog?
Yeah, you could. My aunt got very mad at me when I said that. She slapped me.
Well, why would you call her that?
I wasn't calling her that. I was calling.
That's not very nice, Jax.
My cousin that who was eating my chocolates.
Oh,
Who is eating my chocolates?
Okay.
I love my cousin, but she loves chocolates more than me, and that's frustrating.
Well, at least she was willing to fight and die over it. Chocolate or die? Okay,
Army wife, I think we've officially slipped into
insanity. Insanity.
We've got all silly.
Well, Fire Sessions is laughing at us, so we're entertaining our audience.
Oh, wow.
That's good.
So, sorry, Kristen. They're usually not this bad. Ignore their language.
What do you mean?
What?
Well, it's Kristen Kornchuk. She's a very nice lady, and you guys are being very naughty.
I think she's blushing.
I think so.
You made her blush.
What did we say? We didn't do nothing.
Yeah, really.
Let me adjust my halo here for a second.
What halo? Your horns, you mean?
Oh.
I am a very good boy. Good boy.
So what do you think of that news? The National Sentinel says open borders, arrests of violent MS-13 gangbangers up 50% in 2018. It's not bad. It's not bad. Could you do better? I think I've seen the same picture many, many times. It's dangerous. They say that elections have consequences, so do policies. And right now, the congressional policy of resisting POTUS, Donald Trump's much-needed wall along the U.S. southwest border, is consequential. According to government figures, Border Patrol arrests of violent MS-13 gang members caught crossing illegally into the U.S. have risen dramatically this year by 50%. So
those poor animals. I mean, humans.
Hey, I like animals.
Hey, somebody here hasn't liked us. You have to like ourselves. Come on.
Animals are nice
that would be
people.
Me. Sorry. I haven't liked this.
The furry ones are nice. I like the furry animals.
I don't like
I thought
myself.
you were going to say something else. I was going to say, let's not talk about furries, please.
No.
I was going to say something, but I'm going to keep my mouth shut. I'm behaving.
Everybody's giving us hard times. Alexandria Ocasio-Cortez is crashing and burning fast.
Obama just backed her up yesterday.
Well, yeah, it's a
He
kiss of death.
her.
Obama backing you up is the kiss of death. That's just the way it's going to be.
Here's hoping that continues.
Yeah.
Again, a cute girl with a 2-cent head.
Yeah, with no brain whatsoever.
Nope.
That's
okay. Obama wouldn't back Ellison, so I found that interesting today.
She's 28-year-old former bartender. What in the hell does that qualify her to be in any office?
A socialist.
She took the money. That's what qualifies.
CIA is grooming the next Manchurian candidate.
And she knows how to lubricate the, it's the social lubrication is what that's called. Wait, alcohol is known as a social lubricant.
Okay, but finish your conversation. Finish your sentence really fast.
Right there.
Oh, boy.
Holy cow. Jeepers, son.
Okay.
Wow.
This is actually, look at this one. This is Chairman Bob Goodlatte, House of Representatives Judiciary Committee. This is like semi-official and stuff. Goodlatte subpoenas McCabe memos and other documents.
I'm a semi-official.
I blame Bandit. He's the one that got him head trauma early on.
I'm a semi-official. Hey, maybe she's running because she's going to GoFundMe for a brain transplant.
Yeah.
See, it all ties together because the world is connected like that. It's connected. Wheels within wheels.
The interweb connects us all.
So, Washington, D.C., House of Representative Judiciary Committee Chairman Bob Goodlatte. So this, when is today? Today subpoenaed Department of Justice. So that's September 27th. That's a couple days ago. He subpoenaed Department of Justice for several documents that have been withheld from the committee, including McCabe memos. McCabe memos are documents and communications written by former FBI Deputy Director Andrew McCabe that memorialize discussions, meetings, or correspondence he had with senior officials. The House Judiciary Committee has been requesting the McCabe memos for months. So today's subpoena also covers all documents supporting the facts claimed by the FBI in its application for and subsequent renewals of a FISA order authorizing surveillance on Carter Page, as well as all documents and communications originally shared with the Gang of Eight related to the investigation into Russian interference in the 2016 U.S. presidential election. Below is the text of letter to Attorney General Jeff Sessions subpoenaing these documents. And, so it's not terribly long, but maybe get the idea. So some subpoenas went out. Hopefully this stuff will come back pretty soon. This is all based on the president wanting this stuff to come out. So he authorized.
Wouldn't that be amazing if tomorrow Trump gets on the horn and says, don't be alarmed, but people are being arrested and this is why?
That's what I keep expecting.
I don't think it's going to happen tomorrow because we got to get Kavanaugh confirmed first.
Yeah.
Well, maybe that'll happen in the morning, because that could happen in the morning, and then the afternoon would be.
H.A. Goodman was reporting that it's going down tomorrow. Had you guys heard something?
No. Yeah.
Except that Brain was talking about a Q post earlier today that he wasn't sure what it was about. 53-47, and I'm kind of thinking that maybe that's what the final vote is going to be.
Yeah, most likely.
So you're going to get some Democrats on the other side?
I think so.
The Democrats in red states are likely going to vote that way if they wanted to get reelected. So,
but what if they get kicked out of their leftist communist organizations?
Well, they probably will.
And I think some of them realize that the leftists are going way too far left for them.
And they probably are just thinking that maybe the DNC isn't going to survive over a year from now. Maybe a year from now there won't be a DNC. So what good is it to try to stay loyal to your party if the party that you're loyal to is no longer going to exist?
Maybe that's why they're not concerned about Ellison.
Yeah.
Right.
What happened to Debbie Wasserman Schultz? Anybody heard anything about her?
Not for a while.
She's too busy taking care of Avon's child that she had for him. The Manchin is he doesn't vote for Kavanaugh, that he will not get reelected. And the same thing with Murkowski. She lost 10 points in the last few days. Wow. So maybe she's one of the 53.
I have another official I guess it is official. It's the ICE newsroom. U.S. Immigrations and Customs Enforcement. They have Operation Green Mountain. So the story comes out 9/28/2018. So Operation Green Mountain, that's 53 arrests for drug, illegal arms traffic, and money laundering. So this is in San Juan, Puerto Rico.
God, imagine that, Puerto Rico. Isn't that where that crazy mayor was that said they were in so much trouble and all that water was found that she never gave to everybody?
Yeah, she's still under investigation.
They did.
Yeah.
They arrested her.
So this Operation Green Mountain is against members of a transnational drug trafficking organization with nexus in Mexico and Colombia, operating from Los Dolores Ward in Rio Grande, Puerto Rico. So this is like tying into some, what do you call it? That narco show that we were watching. What's that? It's
Narcos.
Yeah, they had. What do they call it? The cartels. Probably ties into the cartels.
To the Clintons.
I got a question for you guys from our audience. They want to know what it is with the left and the crazy eyes.
Oh, I have that meme somewhere.
Crack cocaine.
Pharmaceuticals.
I was trying to tell them that Brainstorm's thought was adrenochrome.
Well, they could,
I thought it was inbreeding.
What was that? Well, what was that thing where that guy on Good Morning America or whatever, that one guy that like all of a sudden somebody said something and his eyes went all loopy and he started. Did you? Yeah.
It was the brain implant. It was the implant.
It's the programming thing. It's like when you say the right word, then they switch to a different alter. The whole multiple personality thing.
Christine Ford.
It's inbreeding, I'm telling you.
Gauge. Trump administration moves on child sex trafficking ring. 160 children rescued. This is back in June 11th, but it's still worth reporting, right? Atlanta, Georgia, a sting on the sex trafficking trade in the metro Atlanta area netted dozens of arrests and led to the rescue of approximately 160 children. And they keep saying that Trump's not doing anything, right?
Yeah. The one last year that just in one day, the one out in California, they arrested like 400 and something people in a pedophile ring.
Okay, people, think about 30 years ago. Just think about, so 1988, all right?
Yeah.
That news would have been huge. That would have been over every station. And
we would have never heard the end of it.
Exactly.
Well, that was the satanic panic. And the mainstream media succeeded in covering all that up. They just poo-pooed it away as some giant conspiracy theory.
And they still do to this day.
Right,
yeah,
but
they
the
won't
satanic
talk about
panic, I mean, there's reason to be panicked about it. So this is not like some irrational response. When it was like these what was it, daycare centers in California, and then once a story there comes out, then it's like it starts running around all the other daycare centers that have the similar problems. All that news starts surfacing, and the investigators, they were noticing all the similarities in children's stories from around the country. This can't be some arbitrary thing if there's so many commonalities between all these different stories about like underground caves and stuff and these rituals and stuff.
Right.
But they managed to cover it all up and discredit the kids. So how old, where are those kids now?
Right, they'd be in their 30s.
They're in Congress. They're in Congress.
Right.
With crazy eyes.
Yeah. Maybe that explains Feinstein. No, she's older than that. I don't know.
Yeah, Feinstein's all for open borders. I mean, I wonder why she even has a lock on her door.
Exactly.
Carrie Bella in the live chat, I totally agree. She knows the 80s were the best, and always stop and think of the 80s compared to now, and it was night and day.
It is.
We have to get that back. I think we need to find a hot tub time machine.
So somebody was sharing this story. This is a really old story. This is February 15th of 2016. But what is the headline? The headline says, I found Scalia dead with a pillow over his head.
Gosh, you revealed who you are.
So I can.
I don't think they're listening. This is Scalia. They killed Scalia. I mean, this is obvious. Supreme Court Justice Antonin Scalia's head was under a pillow when he was found dead at a Texas ranch, according to the ranch owner who found his body. We discovered the judge in bed, a pillow over his head. His bedclothes were unwrinkled.
Hey, that rhymes.
Yeah.
They're poet. He's a poet and he didn't know it.
We found him in his bed with the pillow over his head.
Had a beard, he'd be
I don't think that's the lesson you're supposed to be getting from this story.
Better dead than red.
Yeah, and his family didn't ask for an autopsy. It was like, okay, he's dead. Okay, we're good.
Yeah, that's wrong. So wrong.
Yeah, because you and I both know if it had been any of us, that would have been a different story.
I mean, think about how fast they get people.
Emails that came out, man.
Look at Bourdain. I mean, they get him and they go before he can even be investigated. They go and get rid of the body. That's an MO.
Yep. Yeah, we're seeing stuff that is on what's the detective show that's been running for 25 years?
Twilight Zone.
Snapped?
No. Law and Order. We're seeing stuff literally that's off of Law and Order. I mean, in real life, these bodies are getting disappearing right out of the morgues and before they can be autopsied. And, oh my God. Unbelievable.
Get that out of here.
Yeah. Okay. So, James Comey.
That's a fine table.
This is from October 1st. James Comey rejects private hearing, wants to testify publicly.
I bet he does.
Yeah, he wants to control. Well, he wants to speak to the cameras.
Right. He wants to do a Peter Strzok look. He'll be the next one to do it. What, Ford did it last week?
It might be a boon for the meme makers. Meme makers might appreciate it. But, yeah. I think the biggest thing is that he would know that the typical citizen does not know law well enough to know, when he's making a fallacy, or something like that. They're just.
Well, and they don't know the facts of the case enough either to sit there and say, well, wait a second, that's not true.
Like whenever he did the announcement for Hillary's emails, we found tons of criminal stuff, but nothing that we could prosecute her on.
Because we're looking at intent.
Yeah, they have some ways, I guess, legally that you can prove intent, but I'm pretty skeptical about it. I mean, how can you prove a person's intention? I mean, you could try to use a different behavior to say that this was, you're arguing the point that this is evidence that he intended such and such a thing, but You don't know why that motive. I mean, it's like you have a different behavior that you have to try to find the intention of that behavior, and you keep walking it back. I mean, it's like, you know, what's the turtle that the Earth is resting on? You know, there's the Earth, and then the elephant's holding up the Earth, and then the turtle's he's standing on the turtle. You know, how far down do these turtles go? How can you prove intention?
Cold medicine. What kind of cold medicine did you take tonight?
Excuse me, but me and Fox One were out over the target. We got to hit the silk, so we're going to bail, and we'll talk to you guys later.
What's this?
Yeah,
this
we're over the target.
I don't want to know. I don't want to know.
Behind enemies, we're behind enemy lines.
Hey, what you guys do in private, your business. I don't want to.
Have a good night.
Good night now.
Good night.
Hey, Patriot.
Yes, sir.
You don't have parachute pants on, do you?
Oh, can't touch this.
Okay.
Oh my gosh.
Do.
Yeah. Chechen leader ridicules U.S. threats to impose naval blockade on Russia. Yeah, because Russia has a big, it's a big bad navy, I guess, that I don't know about.
Kristen Kornchuk in the chat is saying Mad Maxine Waters is out of control.
Yeah.
Yes, we know this, Christine. We know this.
Unfortunately, we've tried. There's no mental hospital that will take her. They're afraid of her taking over. Yeah.
Or still with all their money like she did the millions of dollars she gave to her family and stole it, literally. Yeah. They didn't charge her because she's
crazy.
Basically said that they were racist and against women and yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
She bullies her way out of everything.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of stuff on her. A lot of stuff.
Oh, yeah.
She paid her daughter like $745,000 to hand out pamphlets. I mean, there's something like that.
Yeah, it was all a big banking scheme. Judicial Watch has all the documents on it. It's pretty interesting.
So they've caught people overestimating the price tag for some of the things that the president wants to do, like the military parade on November 11th. And as far as I'm concerned, they're still having it because I'm going to be there. November 11th, we got to go have the military parade, and we're going to.
Well, good.
I mean, don't you think? Don't we think that we should have a military parade? I don't know.
I'm up in the air on that one.
You don't want a military parade? Not even if it features some Space Force. I want Space Force people out there in the military parade.
Two reasons I'm against it. I'm all for patriotism. I'm all for our military, obviously. And I'm all for a show of arms. Now, two reasons is A, this guy has been cutting the budget and being a winner all the way through this. That would be a kind of a stupid waste of money. And B, it is kind of a communist thing to have the Russian or Russia or North Koreans. They march their armies out in front and show the world how strong they. Yeah, exactly. And so I kind of being a jarhead. Yes, I'm all for it. Hey, let's get a look at some of the new equipment. Let's see these soldiers snap to. Yes, I'm kind of there.
But it kind of looks like the big missiles going down the street.
Yeah.
Tanks.
We don't want them to see our inventory.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, well.
That's right. That's a good one.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the less they know, the better off we are.
There's some story about campaign finance. Yeah, whatever. What's the next story we got? George Soros funds a major pro-abortion group trashing Brett Kavanaugh. Yeah, it's probably not surprising either.
Didn't we see an article up above that said one of them wanted Kavanaugh investigated for rudeness? Seriously?
And that's all George Soros funded. That and the Fusion GPS thing, the whole shebang. Carrie Bellis said they had a parade in D.C. about 8 years ago. Her son was in it.
Yeah, I mean, this is a memeable picture right here. Meme that, people. Meme it. Look at that.
I wouldn't want it on a T-shirt, though.
Yeah, there's
Those baggy eyes are just scary right there.
What is that? The Order of Grayskull? What was that? The Skeletor? He's kind of looking
Skeletor, absolutely.
Yeah, he's kind of looking like he could get that role.
Why isn't he dead yet?
I'm He-Man.
Organ harvesting.
So here's one I missed. This is on September 28th. This is a presidential proclamation on Gold Star Mothers and Families Day. Did you guys see this?
What is it?
Courageous Americans of every generation have given their last full measure of devotion in defense of our country and our freedom. The families who stood along these heroes have paid a price no family should ever have to pay. Gold Star Mothers and Families Day is a solemn reminder that these families, the families of our fallen service members, bear the burden of their loss forever. So it's just a recognition of the families of our servicemen.
I think I saw them on stage last week.
I just must have missed it. Mm-hmm. Oh, stop it. What are you people doing? Okay. There's stuff.
Boys.
Robert De Niro, global citizens fester, fire our leaders, and by that he means Trump. Yeah. Who cares about Robert De Niro?
I'm so sick and tired of Robert De Niro. He hasn't been relevant for 30 years.
Well, he was a good actor. It makes me sad that I can't watch any of his movies because I like those movies.
Well, but he hasn't had anything decent for 30 years.
Oh,
he's had a few that are watchable and everything else, and I'm with Brain on this. I used to like the guy. I used to. There's a lot of Hollywood that I used to like.
Matt Damon, he totally ruined it for me. It's like I liked his stuff. And then he had to come out and be a commie. Bastard.
Yep.
Makes you appreciate more the Clint Eastwoods and the Tom Sellecks and the...
Clint Eastwood, not Tom Selleck. I do not like Tom Selleck.
What?
I do not like him.
What's wrong with you? He's a good conservative. He's an excellent actor.
She loves Tom Selleck. She's totally infatuated with him.
He gives me the creeps. I don't know. There's something wrong with that boy.
Really?
There's something wrong. I'm just telling you.
It's the caterpillar under his nose. It won't go away.
I can't stand him.
Wow, really?
Yep,
She's totally
I can't
lying.
stand him.
She's lying.
She
has a crush on the guy.
The last Tom Cruise movie I watched was in '85. If that gives you a hint.
You're talking about Tom Cruise? I thought you were talking about that other guy.
About who?
The Tom Selleck.
Oh, Tom Selleck. No, that's totally different.
Tom
Cruise.
What the heck? Oh my goodness! You just totally threw me off. Okay, Tom Selleck, you like, correct?
I do like Tom Selleck.
Yeah,
that's what I was talking about.
She was infatuated with Tom Selleck.
I like Tom Selleck. I do not like Tom Cruise.
That's what was throwing me off. You were going off on Tom Selleck, and I'm like, no, you're wrong.
No, I can't because my sister knows his wife, and that wouldn't be good for business.
Well, we're not saying you're going to date him.
I don't like Tom Cruise. There's something wrong with that boy.
I agree with you.
And I swear you said Tom Cruise.
Nope, you were wrong. You were wrong.
Yeah.
No, I agree. Tom Cruise is because here I am talking about Clint Eastwood and Tom Selleck. I'm talking about good amazing. Conservatives. Yeah,
I like him, but he is a little bit stuck on himself. He is a bit stuck on himself.
I'm talking about good conservative actors, and then you were like going off on Tom Selleck, and I'm like, what the heck? Okay.
So what do you think of... Okay, so here we got this Monsanto weed killer bombshell. It murders honeybees. So, that back when we started hearing about the honeybees dying, I immediately thought of Monsanto, but we haven't had any proof of it. But this report kind of looks like it might be in there. Yeah. In a new paper, researchers from University of Texas at Austin outline how glyphosate harms the microbiota. I don't know what that is. I'm not a biology guy. But needed by honeybees for growing and resisting pathogens. Not only is glyphosate playing a big role in the decline of bees across the planet, but it's also destroying their habitats. So it's Monsanto that's destroying the bees. That's the bottom line.
But that was one of their goals, though. You have to understand the whole thing. That's why they grow these plants, these veggies and stuff with no seeds in them. They kill the bees so they cannot pollinate. That's like
it's a destruction of our entire food chain.
Ecosystem. Right. Exactly. That's their goal. I mean, they can control human society, but if you can't produce your own food.
Yeah. It's population control too.
And the seeds,
we're totally screwed.
That Monsanto has that they sell to the farmers. I had watched a show on it, and it almost collapsed the whole economy in India because they went over there and sold them these seeds to the farmers, and the farmers would think, oh, I could grow this, but the seeds were getting too expensive, so they'd try to go back to their other stuff, and they had put a weed killer or something in the seeds so that it sterilized the soil, and they couldn't grow anything.
Yeah. That's kind of people we're dealing with.
And that's their plan for here. Those are the things, and that's all Bill Gates funded. Do not be confused about that. That is Bill Gates. It's Bill Gates. Anything?
I remember when Bill Gates appeared to go philanthropic, and he started getting involved in all these charitable causes, or so we thought. He's doing things in Africa, but what was he doing in Africa?
Finding ways to kill people.
Yeah,
exactly. There's no oversight, nothing on all the shots that he's given those kids. I mean, there's just, you know what I mean? There's nothing, and everybody's like an experiment to him. He needs to be committed. That's all I got to say. He is
him.
One
the Clintons
wicked man.
have done that too. The Clintons have done
absolutely.
None of them should be ignored.
Exactly.
And I'm going to tell you that Monsanto is behind celiac disease and a bunch of others too.
Yeah,
that wouldn't surprise me.
One man just won a $2.6 million lawsuit from Monsanto for the using Roundup. He used Roundup for years.
Right.
Yeah.
When I worked at a hardware store in my younger years, that was one thing everybody told us was to stay away from the Roundup and those products.
Yeah.
Because they were so dangerous. And yet we had some of the other weed killers and stuff like that it wouldn't harm anything except for the plant.
Yeah.
And those companies are out of business now.
Yeah.
Not one of those companies are in business that had decent weed killers that were safe.
Yeah, because Monsanto, that's completely poisonous and completely has messed up the ecosystem. Was so much cheaper. And I mean, their whole plan was just outrageous. It was half as much for the Monsanto stuff than it was for the stuff that really worked and did a good job. But you only needed half of it to get it to work.
Do you guys know anything about, and I might be getting this wrong, but something about the head of the FDA either he went to Monsanto or he came from Monsanto. Not now. This was before Trump.
It was probably Obama and them's whole plan.
Anybody know anything about that? I know I saw it somewhere.
Not right offhand, but
okay, all right. I'll have to find that.
So we're a lot of stories. Actually, I could dig up more, but why do that?
I'm all out of stories. I'm so lost without you. Oh, sorry. Okay, guys.
Carrie Bella is saying she worked for the FDA in the 80s and the 90s.
Oh, really?
And they wanted was it a woman FDA/HHS?
No, this was a guy. I remember seeing the picture and everything else, but I could be wrong on the company but it was some kind of weird connection like that. It was some kind of, it wasn't a good thing. I'll tell you that much. I just can't remember. I'll dig it up for tomorrow night if I can.
All right, guys, you have to come back tomorrow night so you can find out who it is. She says for the Bureau of Biologics during the AIDS thing, too. Does that make any sense?
I don't. Not to me. Or did she work for them?
Go ahead.
Yeah, she's saying that she agrees with you, Bandit. She says she heard something like that too.
Okay. All right.
Well, cool.
So,
I think it's time for us to sign off, and I appreciate all of our audience in there. I appreciate you hanging into our insanity. I don't know
Brain
why.
was kind of out of control
why would you
tonight.
listen to us? I don't know, but there you go. And also, I do have to ask you this question, because I've been thinking that we don't have a whole lot of, I don't know, we're not growing with our subscribers and stuff. So we're thinking about maybe changing the content. I don't know if you think that's a good idea, or should we? I don't know. Anyway.
Hold on 1 second, Brain.
Well.
Okay, to the few people that are here listening to us right now, what we're trying to find out is what would make the show better. Just let us know. Should we do a whole musical, the whole show, or
do you want to see our faces?
I hate musicals, man. Oh my goodness.
no? Do you want to talk about UFOs or strictly conspiracy theories? Do you want to talk about news stories strically? Do you just kind of let us know what you think? We're
and what
we're open for
would you
suggestions.
lead us to get your friends to, come in? We want to boost our numbers. We want to get our word out. And
I don't know if we have a word per se, but
I think so.
We're going to spread our insanity to others if we can. But
I think that's good, though. Carrie Bella says, I like this because you actually talk to us over here. Most hardly engaged. I am thoroughly enjoying listening to you guys.
Well, good. Well, we enjoy reading you.
Yeah, we do. We do. Should post links everywhere. Crazy Guggenheim's welcome. Thanks, gun clinging Palin. We don't know what
what's
between you and fire.
What does that mean? Guggenheim's.
The artsy fartsy type people.
Oh.
The ones that were on talking German a while ago.
That's right. And Carrie Bella said she was looking for a place tonight that is live and has news. We did that.
We kind of have news. We sort of cover it.
So if we could get you to get your friends to come in and join in the insanity, we'd love it. And Kristen Kornchuk says, love you all, great patriots tonight. Thanks, Kristen. But we need to get more of this stuff out. And gun clinging Palin says, you guys are too young to know who the crazy Guggenheim was.
I guess so. I don't know who that is. So, yeah, what I was actually thinking about, I was talking over with somebody else on Corsi Nation's thing that, considering the possibility of doing some kind of book club thing because,
Carrie Bella wants to know what time we come on. 9 o'clock Eastern?
9 Eastern, yeah.
Yep.
And, that's one of the things I was thinking about doing it, instead of doing it every day, doing it just on the weekends, one time a week, and then having it be more of a book club type of thing. So that we did like a single article rather than a whole bunch of things that we do superficially. We could find one thing and just delve really deeply into it and just do that. That way we could study it during the week and have time to get into something deep. I don't know. Just an idea.
Well, listen, my kids just showed up, so I'm going to let everybody go. It's been fun. God bless everyone, and good night.
Have a good night.
Good night to you. Good night.
You too.
Okay,
Bye.
So good evening from the Secret Squirrels. Hope you have a good night.